Hey guys, welcome back to Whitty's Gear Reviews. Today we're going to look at something. First off, I want to start off by saying this was sent to me by Loop Gear. This is the Loop Gear LoopDot. They sent it to me and I told them, hey, no problem as long as I can do an honest review. And we're going to do that to the best of our ability with this light. Now, we're just going to unbox first and then go into some specifics, and then we'll save the all the features and functions and ins and outs of the light for later in the end. But pretty plain boxing. Shows you what the LoopDot looks like there. You've got your instruction manual, which you will need in the beginning when you first get this light. You've got the light itself. And you've got a Loop Gear cleaning cloth, USB-A to USB-C cable, which I'd kind of prefer that to be a little bit longer. But about standard with flashlights, I guess, little 6-inch cables. You've got a little lanyard, carry handle, a little logoing there, kind of a bright high-vis orange, and then you have this little retainer, which would house the light like so. Now, I think they make a clip that you could buy separately, but to me, you have the magnet on there, which is a good feature. But a lot of people like clips on lights. And without a clip, you're caught dangling it. It does seem like it has a pretty good lockup inside here, so I don't fear it falling out. But for you guys out there that like a true clip, this light doesn't come with one. And it is, for bigger hands, without having to turn it on every time, a little bit harder to get out of this case, as you can see there. But nice rubberized case. Still has a place to charge it here on the bottom if you're inside that housing. Now, that being said, that's the unboxing. Let's take this off. I've already taken it out of the pack to charge the light, because there's no sense doing any of this if the light won't power on or stay on. All right, there we go. Now, I do want to say a couple things about this light. The styling on this light and the overall attention to detail and the craftsmanship and the construction is, I mean, it's faultless. It is a beautiful looking light. Do love the large screen on front, and we're going to get into that. So let's just look. Again, this is a LoopDot made by Loop Gear. This is a anodized aluminum housing. This thing comes, this is the, I guess, the titanium colorway, but it also comes in orange, green, and purple. Now, it does have dual light sources, stepless dimming. It's got a total output of 400 lumens, and that'll give you about up to 100 meter throw in the spot function, but it's got spot and flood. And then on the front, it's got this RGB pixel display, which we'll get into more of that when we go through the functions. Hey guys, you got to keep in mind, this is not your traditional flashlight. This is something totally different. It has great flashlight capabilities, but it has a bunch of other stuff that you've got to figure out. What are the uses for that? Are they useful? Do I need them? Do I want them? And what will it do for the longevity of the light if I have them? So real quick, like I said, you're going to have your spot. You're going to have your stepless dimming. You're going to have your floodlight, which your spot comes on at 400 lumens max. Your flood is at 270 lumens max. The good thing about the flood is the LED that they use is going to give you true life color Great for close-ups, for seeing things at night as you would with natural lighting. It also has a shake the switch feature between the spud light and the flood, which we'll have to figure out how to do all that in the settings. You can personalize the settings. You could tailor it to, you could tailor the light exactly to the way you want to use it. You can change the screen brightness, dial direction, all the shake the switch features, and the lockout modes and more just by going into that part of the light and changing your settings. But I like this sandblasted anodized aluminum finish. It's real smooth. It looks like high-end electronics or high-end cell phone company made this. You're going to have that curved tempered glass, which just has that seamless design. This thing's IPX6 waterproof rated, and it's also rated to 1 meter drop testing. Now, if you just give this a quick press of the button, you're going to see that, and it comes on like a little dim moonlight mode. And if you rotate that dial, which you could hear the positive clicks, you can change the intensity of that light. That's on the flood. If you press and hold the button, you'll open up you'll turn on the other light, which is going to give you your spot. So hold that longer. We swap back over to the flood. Hold again and you go back over to the spot. Click again and you're out. So that would be kind of your flashlight mode. If you triple click, you could go into your flashing mode, strobe mode, and then just turn the dial and it'll get you back out. Or press the button, however you want to do it. So, one click, you've got your flood, turn the dial to go into your intensity settings, then you've got your flood with another press, turn the dial, go into your intensity settings, 1, 2, 3, that gets you in your strobe mode. One click and you're back out of the light. Now, you can see that little flashlight. That's showing us now, 4 clicks brought us to the main menu. That's showing us that we're in flashlight mode. That is going to be in game mode. And that is going to be in the settings mode. Now, if you were to go in the game mode, there's several different games you could play here. When we go in the directions, we'll talk about those. But just a quick look. We'll look at the first. Well, I swapped in the game mode. All right, let's talk about that while we're in here. So, in the game mode, you could get to these RGB display lights. Right? These will stay on as you're carrying the light as a lighting mode. And you can speed up the intensity of that mode. Change the colors depending what you want. Go back to that mode. We'll go back into the lights. And these are just all the different light modes. You've got your flame. You can speed up the intensity of your flame. Just a little ambiance. We're going to slow it down. And it's hard to see the colors The colors are actually white, orange, a reddish color, darker orange, and a yellow, which actually looks like flames when I'm looking at it here, but it doesn't necessarily look like flames when you're looking at it there. But just a bunch of different light modes. And we'll go over what each one of those are. Let's get out of that. You can get into different game modes. So on and so forth. We'll go over what each mode means in full detail, but I'm just kind of playing with the light, showing you some different things it'll do. And there are a bunch of features that they pack in this light. Get in your settings mode. Here you can adjust all your settings. The only thing is each part of your setting has an icon. You have to look at that owner's manual, find out what the icons mean, so you could figure out what level you're in and then what you could do there. This is just your turn dial, which way you want to change the way your dial there moves. So all kinds of different settings. And then if you want to go back to your regular light mode, you just go here. Click. You're in your light mode. You can tell that by, it's hard to see it, but you're actually in moonlight mode. Click one more time and you're out. I'm going to pull out the directions, and I want y'all to see, for the right people, and guys, I get it, this light is not going to be for everybody, but you'd be surprised how many people love this little light, and you'd be surprised how many people would actually carry it. This is the direction page. Up on the top is English. These, let's see, part of this here, and all of this across the top. Wait, there's more. I think the back is in also foreign languages. Yeah. So, the English section is all through here. Once you get that, it's going to tell you what each mode means, where to go, and how to operate it. To some, I'm going to say that the light isn't as user-friendly as I'd hope it would be, but it's like anything, guys. In time, once you understand what all your little icons mean, like some of the game modes, I played with it a little bit. I guess if you're bored on a train, a plane, stuck in a situation where you're going to be sitting for a long period of time and you don't have anything to do, for one, you just have that fidget factor. It is like a fidget spinner. You can sit here and play with it, drive people crazy. Or there's small little games held in here. And we'll go over those when we get more into the light. Now, as far as the lighting modes are fine. Now, what I would have probably preferred to see with the light is two versions, right? To have this version, because this is a small little light. Cool little light, great feeling in the hand. I would have liked to seen this version with a green light, red light, strobe, beacon, something that you could easily dial to each one and get to, and with a clip on the back. And then there's this one that's for everybody else that likes the ingenuity of having all the games, the different lighting features, the way you can customize all your settings or most of your settings in the light. I think there's a place for people that like that kind of thing. More of your tech savvy kind of people. I mean, I'm more into survival, EDC, preparation and stuff like that. But I think there's a market for this to the right people. Because I can tell you, somebody that's a tech person may rather have a light like this over a Woobin G5. just because of the technology that's put into making that light. All right, guys, we'll bring you back when we go into some of these features. Okay, guys, welcome back. So, going back into this LoopDot, right now we're in the unlocked mode. We're going to scroll this over, and we're going to enter the game mode. Okay, now we're in the game mode. This is the first game that you're going to see, or the first action you could see, is your light effects. From there, you can go to dice, which is just going to basically be like rolling dice. Coin toss, which will get you heads or tails. Rock, paper, scissors. Lucky direction. Water bottle. Timer mode. Stopwatch mode. Catch the gems. Counter. And wooden fish.
So I'm trying to figure it out.
Okay, guys, we're back. We're going to go into some of the features there. Right now, we are in play mode. So in play mode, if you rotate this dial, or first you got to press it, you're in play mode, press the top button. Let's go to the beginning. This mode right here is light effects. So if you press this button on top, it'll take you into your different light effects. These are all the different light effects you have. We'll rotate all the way back to the beginning. So on this mode, if you press that button, then your light effects start. You can rotate this dial, change your colors, change your speed. On how fast it changes there. And that's the flame mode. If you press on that, starts a flame. You can dial it back to where it's a slower flame. And you've got like a waterfall effect. You can slow it down. Then you've got your raindrops. And you press this button and you can change your colors just pressing the top button. That changes the colors once you get into where you want to be. And then you can speed it up with the dial. Right. Then let's go to sorry about that. All right. You can even get to something like this, or if you press that, now you've just got your red blinking light. This one actually says loop gear. It's just a streaming, which they're calling the photo album. But several different modes. A total of 10 light modes under the light effects. We're going to get out of this. Okay. Get back to the beginning, and then you could cycle through this. The next thing you're going to get to is dice. Basically, press it. you'll see you have a 3, shake it. And now I landed on 2, shake it again. 1, shake it again. And you can roll dice with this thing without actually having to roll dice, just by shaking it, as if you were throwing them. Then you can go into this, which they're calling this a coin toss. So ahead of time, that looks like it's hard to see it, but it looks like a Y. Press the button, and then you just shake it. So if you determine that blue is heads, then we just landed on red. So you could say red's tail, blue's heads, and you just shake it, and it's going to land on one of the two. So blue or red, it actually has a Y and an N. It's hard to see because of the coloring of this. This next one is rock, paper, scissors. That is a scissors. Same thing, right? We're on scissors. We're going to shake it. And now you got rock. Shake it again. Scissors. Paper. So a little hand, paper, rock, scissors. Paper, scissors. See if we can get a rock to land. Scissors, paper, rock. You get the hint. So you can play rock, paper, scissors. Press a button, it takes you back to the main menu. Rotate it again, and this is lucky direction. Oh, gotta press the button. So I guess it's telling you that what direction. So this is basically like spin the bottle. So if you wanted to play spin the bottle with your flashlight, you could do that. I'm just showing you what's on the light, guys. So they're calling that lucky direction. Or actually, I think these are mislabeled in this. That can't be right, because the next one's showing water bottle. Let's look. We'll see what that does. This one. Oh, okay. So basically, this acts as if, right? If you had a water bottle, where would the water level be by the way you turn it? All right. I get it, I guess. Press that, get back. The next one is timer mode. I really don't know how this one works. I guess that was the end of the timer. Okay, so you set the timer there and it counts down. I don't know if you can hear it buzzing. It's showing you that your timer went off, and you can adjust that to several different times, right? Depending on how much you want. If we want to set the timer to that, press the button, and it's just going to sit there and count down. And once it gets to where it's going, it will go off. But that's that mode. And then they've got stop mode, catch the gems, which I'll show you that. It's like a little game here. If you press that, basically telling me I'm on level 2. You're just going to rotate the dial and catch that in there. It's kind of like that little Y. You want to catch the gems in there until all these blocks on the bottom go away. And if you're just bored, I guess it gives you something to do. But that's the game modes. Then you could go into, let's get out of this. You go into this mode, which is basically, I'm going to have to look on this sheet because they give you a gigantic sheet. So on this one, this is the settings, right? The two little lines is your settings. Once you're in your settings, press the top. This is your vibration settings right here. So you can change the amount that it vibrates, 1 through 10. 10 being of course, the hardest vibration. We're going to set this on 4. The next thing you have here is, this is your screen brightness. So if we want the screen to be lighter, we'll press that, which we probably do because I'm blinding y'all. There we go. We might see it better at 1. That's the lowest setting. Wheel direction would be next. Basically, this just means which way you spin the wheel to function, how it functions for you. You've got this one, which is your shake switch settings. And then this one, which is auto power off timer settings. So if you wanted the auto timer off, how long do you want it to take before it shuts itself off? You can adjust that here. And that's it, guys. So there are a lot of functions here on this light. It's just going to be one of those things you have to play with. The more I play with it, the easier it becomes. Let's go back to some of the other settings now that we dimmed it a little bit. It might be easier to see when we go into the gaming modes. Or back into the play mode, which is this one. Press it. Let's go back to the fire and see if the fire looks any different. See if it's as bright. Yeah, it still gets bright when you click it on the fire. But anyways, guys, that's your LoopDot. Let me know what you think about this little guy. I mean, there is just a ton of features shoved in here. I know they're not everybody's. I know they're not everybody's cup of tea, but you know, there's a lot of people that love the function of this light. Having those, that audible fidget, the games. Me, I like the light. I like everything about it. I like the styling. I like the way the actual light function, works. But there's a little bit of stuff for everybody here at Loop Gear. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts. Do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, click all those notifications. Still 3 ways to support the channel: Whitty's Gear, Buy Me a Coffee, memberships, all great ways to help us out. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts on the LoopDot by Loop Gear. Love y'all. See you on the next one.